Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I present to you Westport's Grand Marshal for Memorial Day, Staff Sergeant Edward Stowling, United States Marine Corps.
Here today to remember and to honor all those who served, not in this great country, not just in World War II, but in all wars and all conflicts, even the smallest one. Vietnam, Gulf War, even World War I. And as you proudly wave that flag, let us not forget, it's a symbol of freedom. Freedom that didn't come easy, through the cost of many of their lives. We are not here to glorify war. War is total exhaustion, hot stink of jungles, it's cold freezing weather, frostbite, malaria, utter terror, mutilation and death. It's leaving your loved ones behind, wondering if you'll ever see them again. As I look back some 50 years, I remember a lot of experiences. I was 17 when I went to war. I was 21 when I came home. 80% of my childhood friends were killed in the war. I grew up in East Norwalk, where Johnny McGrath, who got the Congressional Medal of Honor, was my buddy as we grew up. He never came home. My brother Bob was in the same action as John. He was wounded in Italy. Doesn't seem possible that 50 years has gone by so quickly. Wars are fought by boys, quickly turned into men. The majority of us were 17 to 20. I think if you were over that age, you were called Pop. I think many remember that. We left in our youth. We served as men. We returned if we were lucky, but we would never be the same. We have carried, and we still carry, horrible memories, physical scars. I'm sure there are many here who remember the magnificent men who stormed those pillboxes, fortifications, with rifles, grenades, and flamethrowers. Some of you are here today. 1944, my unit arrived at Pearl Harbor. We began maneuvers in Maui. Before we started out, the destination's unknown. 3 days out, Pearl Harbor, the radio broadcast featuring Tokyo Rose was heard. She said to the 2nd and 4th Marine Division, "You're heading for Saipan. We're going to annihilate you." The following day, relief maps were pulled out. We were told where we were going. It was Saipan. She knew before we did. This was top secret. On June 15th, 1944, we hit the beaches of Saipan. Memories remain strong today of incoming artillery, gas attack, in which I didn't have my gas mask. Some sailor had given me a can of boneless chicken in the middle of the night as I boarded ship. So we threw the gas mask out, put it in there. We hit the beach, going down an abandoned airstrip, and here comes a captain down the runway yelling, "Gas attack." Reached in my gas mask case, and there's a can of boneless chicken. Well, pretty scary moment. We jumped into the hole. 2 Marines were dead, 1 Jap. Grabbed the gas mask, got it adjusted, grabbed my rifle. Someone comes through and says, "False alarm." We were pretty happy at that. We We took 19 prisoners one day. Most of them we killed. I remember a Banzai attack toward the end, last organized attack. That night we killed 3,000 Japanese in one night. The next few days, we were trying to help them. Japanese were jumping off the cliffs, women, children. They were throwing grenades at each other, blowing each other up. They tried to get us in on one to blow us up. Luckily, our lieutenant stopped us just in time as they blew themselves up. Following the successful victory at Saipan, we moved to Tinian. We took that island July 24th. We took the bases that provided the base for the Enola Gay that Japan with the A1, which everybody there was very happy they did. December 1944, around Christmas, we were briefed on a place called Workman's Island. It was shaped like a pork chop. It's about 5 square miles long. One end of it was a big extinct volcano. The other side, on our right flank going in, was very high ground with cliffs. As we went up to Iwo Jima, which we later found out that's what Workman's Island was, I was pleasantly surprised just before we left. My dad came to visit me. He was in the Maritime Service, second officer on a ship. I couldn't tell him. I spent one night with him there. I couldn't tell him we were heading into combat again. I distinctly remember sitting on the dock, watching his ship fade away. I wondered if I'd ever see him again. After the war, he told me he was watching me with binoculars. He wondered if he'd ever see me again. When dawn broke on D-Day, there must have been 500 ships off of Iwo. We left the ramps of the LSTs and headed for the line of departure. As we lined up on the line of departure to go in, there was a Westporter on the control ship that controlled that line of departure by putting the flag down. When he put the flag down, we took off for the beach. His name was Alan Prewell. He was a fireman for many years here. I didn't know this till many years later. I've known Alan a long time now. We headed into the island with just a mass of smoke and explosions. On the way in, I remember feeling like a Roman gladiator in an arena with everybody in it. Instead of putting thumbs down, there was rockets fired, artillery, machine guns, raked in the water. I remember a poem from Kipling at that time. I remember thinking to myself, into the valley of death rode the 600. There's only one way, really, to make an amphibious landing. There's no flank movements, it's just straight in. And they were waiting. They had every inch of that beach covered with artillery fire. They had it pre-registered. They had stakes out. One of my captains was leaning against one just after the first wave. I said, "Captain, you're leaning against an artillery stake." Well, he moved fast. We were supposed to be in Iwo 5 days and then go on to invade Okinawa. But fought for 36 days till a victory was achieved. In the first 4 days, my outfit evacuated 1,500 casualties. We never lost one to the high seas. At night in the foxholes on Iwo, Marines would suddenly drop in. You would ask them, "What outfit are you with?" They would say, "What outfit?" They're all gone. On D+3, my amp track was blown up. I just retrieved a pack of cigarettes, went into the cab, jumped out, and the shell went in the cab. blew it up. We had a load of 105 howitzers. Years later at a reunion, I met a friend of mine that was wounded with me. And I asked him what we were doing sitting ducks there. I didn't remember. He told me, he says, reported to the beach master, and he said, go over there and wait. So we were sitting ducks. But the ironic part is, these 105s, they didn't have a 105 on the island yet. They sent in something like 12 ships with 105s on them, and only 2 of them survived. They were sent back. So we had all this ammo. We got away from the track pretty fast, figuring it was going to blow up. We went out to a hospital ship in the morning because they wouldn't evacuate to it at night. All the ships pulled out. We laid there all night. Next morning, in the drizzly rain, next morning we pulled out and went to a hospital ship, got treated. And as we walked out that door on the hospital ship, there was the flag going up on Suripachi. Suripachi was the volcano at the southern end. It was quite a sight. Battle-hardened veterans had tears in their eyes. They were crying. The total exhaustion was something. To see that flag go up was something. It was a big morale booster. It must have been the opposite to the Japanese. It took an additional 32 days after that to take Iwo. That was just the beginning. 3 of the 6 that put the flag up were killed. I do know one personally. If you were there that day and you saw that flag go up, you would never, never desecrate that flag there. Never. The Japanese commander, General Kobayashi, had stated we wouldn't take that island in 100 years. We did it in 36 days. 36 days of hell, really. Battalions were decimated. My old battalion had 115 amp tracks going in. When we left, we had 15 left. I talk of the Pacific War, World War II, because I was a participant, and it's the 50th anniversary. But we must not forget the European theater and all the other theaters, nor any of the war zones, nor any of our shipmates who fought for this country. And as you go home to your picnics, remember what Memorial Day is all about. It is not about celebrating war. It's about commemorating the men and the women who have sacrificed their lives for this great country. Next time you visit Town Hall, out in front there's a plaque. By the flagpole in bold letters it reads, "They have honored us more than we could ever honor them." Thank you, and Semper Fi.